Welcome back again to Excel VBA series, and in this tutorial what we're going to have a look at is some events. Now this is really useful when you're writing code because the events let you automatically run a procedure rather than waiting for the user to trigger it. So there can be lots of different things that trigger the procedure running, and these range from opening the workbook to activating a different worksheet, in other words changing the worksheet, to simply changing from one cell to another in the worksheet. So we'll have a look at some of what we've done already, and what I'm going to do is on this sheet here, so on the events sheet, what I'm going to do is put some code on here. And so I've come into a module, but what I'm going to do is rather than general, I'm going to select a sheet. So in here, in fact I better go onto the sheet first of all, so that sheet is called events. And you see how I've now got the worksheet functions, and rather than saying on selection change, which means when I go away from that sheet, what I'm going to do is say activate. So when I select that sheet or change from another sheet into that one, that's what it's going to do. And you'll see up here, this is actually sheet 10 that I'm working on, which is sheet 10 events, and this is the code for sheet 10. So code doesn't just have to be written in modules, we can actually write the code hidden behind a sheet as well. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to say userform1.show, and that's all I'm going to write on there. So when I activate this particular worksheet, in other words events, it's going to show the user form and then end that subroutine. So here I go. Now it's doing nothing here because I've already got the sheet showing. However, if I click somewhere else, as soon as I come back to this sheet, as soon as I activate it, it's now showing that user form. Now that's quite useful. There's another thing we might want to do, is we might want to have it when we actually change our selection away from a cell. In other words, when we select a different cell. So the cell that we had selected, we're going to refer to as the target. And when we click away from it, that cell that we were in before is still the target. Yeah, because it's on the selection, so it's that instant that we decide to go somewhere else, but we're still looking at that cell there. Now why might you want to do this? Well, we have something here, instant answer, someone to type in their favorite color, and as soon as they've typed in their favorite color, we want to prevent them from being able to go back in there and decide that no, they want a different color, because it's their instant answer. So you may use this for all sorts of things. You may use it for psychometric testing, you may use it for exams, anything like that. What you want to use it for is not my worry. I'm just going to show you how you can set it. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it so that as soon as that cell, the selection is changed away from that cell, the cell becomes locked. Okay, so I'll just take out what's in there first of all, and in that particular cell I'll leave it as it is. I'm just going to check to see that that cell is unlocked at the moment. So it is unlocked, and I'm now going to protect the whole sheet, and that means that people can't select anything else, but as soon as they've typed in their favorite color, that cell will also be locked, so they're not going to be able to reselect it. Yeah. So they can't select anywhere else, but at the moment they can still edit that, and that's what we want to prevent. We don't want them to be allowed to edit that cell either. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? Well, let's just clear that one first of all, and let's go into the code. And this is going to be in a module, and I'm simply going to type in when it's on the worksheet change. So I shall go back into that worksheet. Which one are we on? That is on events. So let's go back into events, and let's say on worksheet change. And so it's got private subroutine, a worksheet change by value with the target as a range. So the target is that cell that I've got selected at the moment. And it's when I change away from it, in other words, when I change something in the worksheet away from that cell, it will then become locked. Now I have to have actually changed something in that cell. That's what this worksheet change means, rather than just select something else. But as it is at the moment, that's the only active cell. It's the only cell I can select. Clearly we do it with various different cells, so we could select different things. Okay, all I'm going to type in here is just a check to see that they haven't typed in nothing. So it's an if not, and if not target value equals nothing, and what we want to do is we want to say, in other words, if they have typed something in, we want to active sheet unprotect and then target locked equals true, and then active sheet protect. So I'll simply copy that and paste it in there, and I'll just change that from unprotect to protect. And because I've had an if here, I need to have an end if underneath, and that's all we need there. Just clean the code up a little bit, and let's see how that works. So this time in my sheet itself, I can click in there. As soon as I say green and I tick the box there, I now can't select that cell anymore. So that's a way of locking the cell as soon as we've typed in a value into the cell. Okay, so the code for that there, the event was changing one of the values within any of the cells, and this first one here was simply on the worksheet being activated. So if I go back there for change of sheet, change back to it, I get my user form coming up again. Okay, I hope that's been useful. I hope you find it something that you could do. And if you have any questions, just ask in the comments down below. And once again, thank you for listening.